And once again, and I am back on my custom modded Seiko SNZG13. This is what I call the Pteroleon Flieger mod. It's basically a winged lion. That's what that means. It's a winged lion because Seiko lion, so Flieger, flight watch, pilot watch, yada yada yada. Look at my video on how I built this and to see all the stages and where I came up with all the stuff that went into this. Anyways, I don't think I've ever shown this on the stock bracelet. Well, what was the stock bracelet? I just gave it the same kind of worn patina effect while I was doing the case. I actually did the bracelet first as a test. And then I actually did the lug ends, which are small pieces, then the bracelet a little bit larger, and then finally the case last. And I just figured, well, if I'm going to do this, I might as well do it. I mean, this looks basically better on a strap, NATO or two-piece of some sort, versus bracelet. But I do have the bracelet with it, and I might as well get it to match if I wanted to use it with a bracelet once in a while. And I think it works pretty good. It looks kind of worn and dirty, which is the rest of the case, if you see it closely. And yeah, I'm just trying to make it look really gritty without actually having to abuse it and with too much time to do actual real worn in look. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think it gives it a different look. Again, it's always better, I think, with this particular style Flieger, usually with a two-piece strap or even a NATO or even like a bun strap or anything but a bracelet is probably your last choice. But it is good to have a bracelet option, regardless, in my opinion, if you can get it. So, I've been enjoying this. I'm going to write up a final review on this, wrap-up review of the project, where it's at. Any other last minute complications or changes or whatnot, and give a full breakdown of what I used. But this will probably go on sale soon, as soon as I can list it. I'm going to ask for $300, which I think is fair, given the cost of the watch is, I think, under two, like $180 or something. I think it was trending around the last I checked. Dials about 35, handsets about another 35 or so. The patina chemicals with everything was about 35-ish too. What I used to patina and whether the dial is an extra cost, and the labor, and also regulating the watch as well. That goes with labor, I suppose. I figure that's fair. For the style watch, very unique. You're not going to find anything like it. I don't think many people will dare go the lengths that I went, but at least with the case, because it's not a look for everyone, but I think it matches this vintage look rather than having a spanking clean stainless steel case that doesn't look like it's been worn, which is kind of odd in contrast if you try to do a dial like this. That the case has not been equal quality in terms of look and seemingly use or abuse. But yeah, it's been running great. I've managed to finally regulate this to just like I think it's about 2 to 4 seconds a day plus. The last time I checked, I finally did swap everything over to a 7S26 movement. The original was a 7S36. No difference actually in the movement other than 2 joules, which would be more in the 736. But that one, the stock one that came in here, was broken originally, and I've repaired it. It got it working, but it was, no matter what I did to regulate it and my wear, it seemed rather erratic, and I suspected there was something more internally wrong or QC driven within it. So the quickest thing to do was to use my spare 7S26 movement, which I had from a previous SKX, and slap it in there and do the appropriate parts exchange to get it to fit and work and everything, and regulate it. It's much more stable now. with the 7S26 that I have in here, and it's running great. No hacking or hand winding, of course, but I don't. It is possible to hack and can hand wind it without taking the case and going in to the movement and do it by manually like that. But you can somewhat hack these movements by a slight trick with the crown, where when you're setting the time, I think if you turn it the opposite direction with the right amount of rotation or force, whatever, you can get it to pause, if not run backwards a bit. It won't damage the movement. Everyone that I've talked to or seen mention or talk about this, it's not going to damage the movement. It's just a natural way that the movement can actually stop or move backwards once you've kind of turned the crown a certain way. Anyways, so you could hack it to some degree, but other than that, just make it, if it's close enough to where you want to set it. This actually has been holding great time, so it doesn't really deviate down that much. So I think you'll still be keeping great time with this regardless. That's about it. Getting kind of long. Just wanted to show this one off on the bracelet. So I will probably sew it together like this. You've seen it on the leather strap, which it looks better on, but I can't get that anymore, so I'll probably keep that instead. I don't know. That's how I'm planning to do it. So if you're interested, PM me, look me up on Facebook, Wing, Yip, or better yet, on Instagram. You can message me at ChronoCraze, KhronoKraze, and you can find me there. All right, thanks, bye.